Okay.
Hi guys, my name is Olivia, aka Livy the developer. As you guys can see, I changed my YouTube name to reflect essentially what my channel entails. So, what's really awesome is I have a guest on today. His name is Garrett. He also has a YouTube channel, and the name of his channel is Garrett Houston. And so Garrett is a Flatiron grad. And so I thought it'd be really awesome for us to collaborate and to talk about his journey as a student, his experience, and him as a graduate from the program, so that you guys can not only hear my viewpoint from how the program went, but to also hear someone else's. And so I think that'd be really awesome as far as when you're making your decision to join this program. So Garrett graduated from the Brooklyn campus, and he started in June of last year, graduated in September, and really happy to say that he is gainfully employed as a back-end software engineer at IBM. So I'm going to go ahead and let Garrett say hi.
Hi, I'm Garrett. As Olivia said, I'm a software engineer at IBM, and I really enjoyed my experience at Flatiron. I really loved the friends I made there. That was probably my favorite part. And afterwards, it was a process getting a job, but I did it, and I'm happy to be here.
Dope, dope, dope. Awesome. Okay, well, I have some questions for you, Garrett. So we'll go ahead and dive deep into these questions. So starting off, what was the catalyst to drive you towards coding?
Yeah, so the catalyst for me was I was on the pre-med track throughout my entire time at college. Last year, I finished college in 2019, and I was a chemistry major, so I was just like always into, I guess, the reason why I chose chemistry is I was familiar with it, like a lot of people take it in high school. So I guess from there, I took it, and I just went with it. I was like, I guess I'm good at it, so I'll keep going. And I didn't realize I liked the problem solving aspect to it. So I was always kind of interested in CS, never got into it. And then my last year, I was just like, I want to try it out. So tried it, ended up loving it, and realized this is where I want to actually take my like what I like, my passion. And that's what I did. So I went down that route and, took that CS course. And while I was taking it in my last semester of college, I was like, I'm going to sign up for Flatiron. I want to like start, building apps and doing some cool stuff so I can maybe get a job in software engineering like by the end of the year. And luckily it worked out. So I'm happy.
Nice. So let me make sure I got this straight. So you went to school for pre-med and you did graduate with your college degree
Yeah.
in chemistry.
Yeah.
But then you decided last minute to pivot and to go to the Flatiron School, and then now you're a software engineer.
Yeah, that summed it right up.
Gotcha. Okay. Very, very interesting. I just want to give a caveat, a question I get asked all the time. Do you have to have a college degree to attend Flatiron School? No, you do not, but it sounds like you
Absolutely not.
did,
Yeah.
which is great. Which is always a great thing. It doesn't hurt at all. So there are lots of different bootcamp options. What made you choose Flatiron, and what made you not pivot into like a CS degree?
Yeah, sure. Um, I would say like, well, when I wanted to become like when I got into it, it was like, my last year at college. So it was just like I felt a little too late and I didn't want to put so much time and money into it. I was like, already got the like, the math courses and all that stuff. And I just feel like I don't want to have to, spend like maybe an extra year or two at college when I could just start working. And maybe if I want to work on my degree down the line, like get a master's in CS, I could do that in the future if that's what I want to stick with. So I was just like, I really would like to just get a job now, start working, gain some real world experience, not just sitting in a classroom because I was doing that for 4 years already. And then I just decided I'm gonna go to Flatiron. It seems like a really good option because, well, one, the Brooklyn campus itself, it, at least at the time, it was called Access Labs, which was like this really cool initiative that basically catered to like people with a low income. And since I was coming out of college, I didn't have an income. So because of that, they like took us in and allowed us to like go through the whole program until we get a job, and then we can start like paying no interest tuition. So I was like, that's a good option. I'm probably gonna stick with that, because like a lot of the other boot camp programs, they have similar options, but they like to load a lot of interest on top of that, and then it just I just felt this was like a safe option. Like they're trying to guarantee me a job, and at the same time, I can just focus on becoming a software engineer and hope. And if everything works out, I'll have a job, and I'll start paying then. But that was my thought in mind. So that's why I decided to go there.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. A lot of people, they don't know how they're going to be able to afford the program. Most people don't have 10,000 racks or 15,000 racks and
Yeah.
go towards this program. And so that, I think, income share incentive is what it's sort of called, is really cool.
Yeah,
A really good option for people. So that's
definitely.
great. So I like to kind of get into the nitty gritty of things. We talk about the technical piece a lot, and there's a lot of information online surrounding that. But what you really don't have, or what I was really looking for when I was considering Flatiron, is to really understand the actual experience at the program. I mean, you did the in-person program just like me, so you get a true culture there. So how was the culture there? How was your relationship with your cohort, with your instructors? What was the building like? What did your day-to-day look like? Because I'm sure you were there for 40 plus hours a week.
Yeah, yeah. And I lived like in the suburbs, so like the commute was pretty long, but regardless of that, I still stayed probably like an extra hour, sometimes three a day each, like during the week. And it definitely accumulated into a lot of hours being there. Um aside from that, wait, so I think I got into the hours, and then I forgot what the rest of the question was.
Like
Um
the culture, like your day to day. I
oh,
know
okay.
at ours we had a 10th floor bar where we'd go and we'd hang out. And so your cohort and just what was it
Oh
like?
yeah, yeah. So like I'm assuming yours was in a WeWork building as well. So
Yes.
like mine was in a WeWork building. My favorite part about the entire program was definitely like the friends I made there. They were just like really fun, and they had the same goal in mind, which I really think was the best part in the program, because we were all trying to work towards this goal of becoming better developers and building an app. So like being able to work with people on projects was really exciting, because not only do you get to like work on it, but I feel like working on a project by yourself, if you're not familiar with everything, it's kind of hard to really like get through it. So like being able to work with it with someone else who might have like a different perspective definitely allows you to get through projects more easily and enjoy the process more, rather than be like, oh, I gotta do this all on my own. Because now I could definitely like work on projects by myself. I see how it's done, and I seen how you can do it. But that initial step to like saying, oh, I gotta build this app all on my own, it seems like a little bit over my head. So like that was definitely fun. But as I said, like my favorite part was just hanging out with my friends there, and being able to just talk about code like 40 hours a week with people, just like in a non-traditional sense too. You're not just like constantly trying to learn, but you're talking about like ideas and just sharing like experiences, which is really cool. And on the Brooklyn campus, I think it was like I could be wrong, but I think it was like the eighth or the seventh floor or eighth floor was the nice like bar area where everyone hung out.
You guys had that bar area.
Yeah.
So I'm interested, how did this relate to your experience in college? Because, when you're I don't know if you stayed on campus or if you did the whole traditional bit. How did that relate? Do you feel like someone who, because for me, when I graduated high school, I absolutely loved that I had that college experience. It was, just a ton of fun, and, you meet a ton of people, and it sounds like Flatiron sort of gives you that. So would you agree with that, or?
I feel like Flatiron gave me like a better like at least academic experience than college ever did. Because like in Flatiron, like in college, they did a really bad job of getting you interested in collaborating with people. I feel like everyone tried to avoid like group projects. It was just like no one wanted to actually like work on stuff together with people. At least from my experience, it was just like a group project was more of like a burden. And then in this case, it was like, oh, like it's really fun. You get to build apps together with people, and you get to do stuff. And you didn't have to worry about, oh, am I going to put in all the work, or is that person going to put in all the work? Because it just seemed like everyone was motivated to get this experience and get the work done. So I mean, for my experience, like in college, it was just like this was just a cooler academic setting to like really take part in.
Cool. So my next question is, what type of person, in your opinion, do you think would thrive in this program? And the inverse of that is, what type of person do you feel like would probably not do as well?
Yeah. I'd say like someone who like it's hard to say because like there's so many different kinds of people that could be going to the boot camp. Like there could be people that are basically like so far ahead, like they already built apps before and stuff, and they might feel they need to go to a boot camp when maybe they actually just need to keep doing what they're doing. And then there's people who like have no experience, like have no idea what to do, and they probably get the most out of the boot camp, although it's very fast paced, and they might get the most out of it. But then once they finish, they also have to keep going and keep working and improving on what they know, because like if you just go through the entire boot camp, it's not gonna, like everything you do there is not exactly what I guess you need to like, you know, pass interviews and stuff. You need to do a lot more work than that. But I guess like, you know, a person who likes going to a boot camp, they're going to enjoy working with other people on projects. That would obviously, if you don't enjoy working with people on projects, you know, going to a boot camp, I don't know if you're going to really enjoy that, since, you know, every module you are pretty much expected to work on a project with someone. And yeah, if you're not interested in collaboration, then a boot camp is probably not what you want to do.
Yeah, I would completely agree. There's lots of people time. So, are not a people person, it may not be the best fit for you. So we go into the program knowing that it's going to be difficult. Was it more difficult than you expected? Less difficult than you expected?
I think like I really thought, I don't know what I really thought a boot camp was, but just the idea of it, like when you hear it, a coding boot camp, it's like, oh, this is just going to be like 90 hours a week of just straight torture. But I think it was probably a little more mellow than I really expected it to be. Like it was intense, but it wasn't like, it wasn't 90 hours of like, I'd say you can make it however crazy you want it to be, right? So it's just a matter of how much you put in after hours, I guess, and how much you want to like really improve. Because I feel like a boot camp's like, it just gives you the projects to work on, and it's however much work you want to put into it at the end of the day. So like, so I don't know, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But I would say, I at some points I underestimated how hard it was, and then at some points I was like overestimating how hard it was, I guess. And I don't know.
Okay. Did you feel like you could have a life outside of the program when you attended, or was it like a thing where it was like, this is all I can do?
I mean, in my case, I pretty much couldn't, because like not only was I going there for like a full time, but my commute was like probably like over 3 hours total. So
Um,
I was just like, I get home and I just go to sleep.
Gotcha.
But, but yeah, I think like, I mean, you can have some social time, maybe like once or twice a week. Like you can see people, like it's not impossible. But I think if you make the decision to go to a coding boot camp, it's probably in your best interest to just, put as much time as you can, invest as much time as you can into it, because at the end of the day, you're paying for this, so you might as well make it the most meaningful experience, I guess.
Right. Completely agree. Were there any moments where you questioned yourself or your decision to be in the program? Did you ever experience imposter syndrome?
Um, I I don't know if I like question whether I don't know. I never said like this isn't for me. I just at some points maybe um I didn't feel, I don't know. I didn't feel like full on imposter syndrome at any point, but at some point I was like between the boot camp and like trying to like prep for interviews and stuff, I got a little overwhelmed, I'd say. I was like, this is a lot of work. I want to break.
Gotcha. So let's talk a little bit about the job hunting process, because of course everyone's interested in that.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to get a job? And what type of job did you get initially? Were you okay with the salary that you received based on the investment that you made in the program? How hard was the job hunting process? How were the technical interviews? All that.
All right. Okay. So the my first offer, I'm not sure exactly when it came in, but I wasn't really like that pleased with it, so I just kept on going through. Like it was probably in the lower range, so I was like, I think but it came in probably within the first month of like job searching, so I was like, I got it kind of early. I want to just go out and wait and see what I can get other than this. And I also had the career fair, so I wanted to check out that and see that too.
Which Flatiron offers?
Yeah. Flatiron has like this whole career fair. You can only go to it once, but it basically is meant to like you get like interviews in it. It's not like it's not just like one of those meetups. It's like you actually go to it. You have interviews with employers, like first round interviews, and then they I know some people that actually did get hired out of that at like pretty cool companies like Citibank. So it's definitely, it's not like a joke, but it's also still competitive because you are competing with like all Flatiron students, I guess, and everyone else outside of that. So yeah, but it's definitely a good advantage, I'd say. And then I went to that. I applied to IBM pretty much right when I graduated in September. But I mean, for some of these companies, I don't know why they take like forever to get back to you. So I didn't hear back from them until like November ish, and then my start date was in January. So I mean, I was able to work a full contract role, not a full contract role, but I was able to start a contract role and work there for a couple of months in the meantime before I worked at IBM.
Cool. Did you feel prepared for the technical interviews that you had with the companies that you interviewed with?
For my sake, I felt pretty prepared. There was one case where I was like, I wish I prepped a little more on dynamic programming, because that was probably like that. I feel like that was always the company's like go to, like trying to like it was like their stumper, or what they get you with. But yeah, for the most part, I felt pretty prepared. But I definitely credit that to like that extra time of just like studying technical interview algorithms, all that prep stuff. Because although you do like work on projects and stuff in Flatiron, I felt that you need to put in a little extra work for those technical interviews. So I'm glad I did that beforehand.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I guess we'll wrap up with, do you think Flatiron was worth it? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of energy. At the end of the day, are you happy with your decision?
I think I'm definitely happy I went, because I met like really great friends. I learned software development from it. You know, I went in not just knowing how to program, and I came out like a software developer. So I have to accredit them for, you know, teaching me how to build projects and stuff like that. It is a lot of money, but I think if you can, if you're in a situation where you have the money to spend, or you're willing to risk it, it's a good choice. But you know, it's a lot of money. That's what I would say. But it is an awesome experience for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Garrett, for your time. Be sure to check out Garrett's channel, Garrett Houston. I will tag him down below. He's interviewing me, so definitely check out my video.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.
All right. Bye.